Кристиан, начальник аналитического отдела по исследованию атак и угрозам. Christian, do you hear me well? As you saw, my online questionnaire, and now you have a presenter's right, and now you fully have opportunity to present your content. Коллеги, прошу задавать вопросы Кристиану в секции Q&A на любом если возможно презентации. Если же вопрос надо будет предоставлять очень долгий ответ, это офлайн, и обязательно вернемся с вами с полной развернутым. Пожалуйста, вы все видите внизу под окошком чата Q&A секцию. Пишите туда вопросы презентации на любом удобном вам языке. Okay, Christian, now I mute myself, and I already presented you as a speaker. Begin.
Okay, before you mute, you can see my screen and my slides.
Yes, we can see your screen. Коллеги, кто-нибудь в чат можете кинуть да, плюс, если видите тоже презентацию Кристиана.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much, everybody who joined this conference, and thank you so much for your interest in what we're doing in this field. And actually, what I always say, if we talk about Mcafee's advanced threat research team, I would say it's the most and best kept secret of Mcafee. Like there's not a lot of people that know about this team. And although we are actually very public with our websites and some of the Twitter feeds, which I will highlight during the presentation, there's actually a ton of stuff we're doing. And actually, we have a very unique position within the Mcafee company. So this presentation will be about the ATR team, and later during this seminar, I will present about some of the research we have been doing with a focus on the Ukrainian attacks and so on. So if you would have described me like, what am I doing during the day? Well, at least you can see I get some sleep. With a little baby at the moment, that 5% is probably now 2%. But with all the fun making here, I'm the lead scientist and senior principal engineer within Mcafee, and I'm leading all the threat research around advanced threats, nation-state attacks, and I would say also high-profile cyber attacks. So and actually, my role in the organization is really like my team is investigating all these threats, and what we learn from that, we apply in our backend, we apply in innovation into our new products. At the same time, I'm training engineers, I'm training the data scientists in our teams to see like, hey, you are good at data science, but we know how threats work, how we hunt for threats, and how can we work together to make better protection for our customers, or how can we stop or detect better threats. So one of the initiatives we did many years ago, it's about nomoreransom.org, and nomoreransom.org is like a couple of companies and law enforcement around the globe that built a platform, and when people got hit by ransomware, they go to the platform, they search for the family name, or they upload the ransom note, and if there's a free decryptor over there, we give them the free decryption tools. This has been a huge success, and I think we already prevented millions of US dollars going into pockets of cyber criminals, so that's fantastic. And at the same time, nomoransomware.org, I think it's the biggest honeypot website in the world, because a lot of the cyber criminals don't like what we're doing and trying to attack our website on a daily basis, and all the messages we're getting, or sometimes we see our names in the code of ransomware. Well, we see it as an honor, because we believe we're on the right path and doing the stuff we're doing. So besides all this stuff, I love to be involved with the MITRE ATT&CK framework, which I will highlight during my second presentation a bit more. I'm teaching some master classes around the world, and when I have some time left, I love to break things, see hacking stuff, like new technologies. Currently, I'm working on some satellite technology, which we're hacking and trying to improve. So a diverse job, and I really love it. And if you want, I try to put out frequently updates on the research we're doing or the things we're spotting. At the bottom of my screen here is my Twitter account. So if you want to follow my account and get updates from the latest news and research we're doing, it's a way of doing this. So Mcafee's Advanced Threat Research Team. And so this is a website where you can find our team, and we have some tools, some libraries, and this is actually the main start of the page where we have all the things gathered. And honestly, if you look up on Google Mcafee ATR team, you will find this page. So you don't have to copy the URL over here. But this is actually where we try to highlight what we're doing, the latest reports, the links to our blogs and things like that. And actually, there are two parts in the team. Like there are two teams within ATR. So there's one team that is really focused on, I would say, hardware security, vulnerabilities in hardware, firmware, architecture. We did, like, for example, recently research on a Tesla, where we were able to actually foil its camera. So instead of it was reading a traffic sign for 60 miles an hour, it's actually read it as like 30 miles an hour. So it slowed down the car, things like that. Or we found a new IoT device with a lot of vulnerabilities. And we always work with responsible disclosure. So it's absolutely not our goal to shame a vendor. But for us, it's like making people aware and make the vendors aware and work together on a solution so that afterwards we can come out with our research and the vendor is happy as well with the fixes. The second part of the team, that's my team, that's really focused on like the next generation of threats. Like, what do we observe? Like the big ransomware threats of these days, the big cyber attacks going on. But also subject matter expertise. So sometimes we're asked by law enforcement agencies around the world, like, hey, we have a piece of malware. We think we know what it's doing, but can you give us a second opinion, or can you help us with an investigation? So that's definitely another part of my the team which I'm running that is doing these kind of operations. So we support also law enforcement investigations around ransomware or some other major cyber crimes going on. So it's a very, I would say, diverse team. We're based all over the world, US, we're in Europe, we have people in the Middle East as well. So I think it's a great bunch of people, and they're all passionate and dedicated to their work. So it's a pleasure really to manage those people and to work with them. So if I would highlight some of the research here, of course, I know Ukraine is battling the same battle as many of our countries around COVID-19, and we did as well. Like from day one that we saw the increase in cyber attacks, our team dropped everything we were working on, and we started to focus on, okay, what are people doing around COVID-19 threats? So we saw, for example, in Telegram channels in the Ukraine that people were selling face masks for ridiculous amount of pricing. We saw misinformation campaigns. We saw malware campaigns abusing the theme. We saw some nation states abusing this theme, and I will highlight that in my second presentation as well. So stay tuned for that. But we did a ton of stuff around COVID-19, and also because we have our research labs and we have like 3D prints over there. One of the things we did as well is immediately within our labs and within some of our people have 3D printers at home as well. We started to mass print face masks and clips to support our local healthcare and local hospitals. And I think we ended up already like close to 400 or 500 face masks being printed and distributed for free to hospitals around the world. Some other research here, the Southern Kibi one, aka ReEvil, ransomware as a service. We did like a 4-episode blog, and it was so successful that I think it's like the base, the ground research that everybody's talking now about ReEvil or Southern Kibi. They refer to our research, which is fantastic, which is a huge compliment for all the hard work we have been doing. As you can see as well here, the vulnerability in Avaya, we did some remote desktop protocol research, and where we give you as well highlights and actually advice on how better secure RDP, because it's a big threat. And also at the bottom one, you see that we help in getting someone arrested that was offering a criminal toolkit on the underground web. So if you look at this screenshot, and this is actually from one of the blogs about Kibi. So this is a part where I visualized the Bitcoin transactions going from the criminal's wallet. So actually, from the left side on, if you go more halfway over here, where you see my cursor, that's actually where you see some victims starting to pay. And the blue dots are actually some of the wallets that are maintained by the actors. And if you know those wallets, you can actually monitor transactions. So if you see the orange and the red dot over here, those were actually Bitcoin exchanges where they started to exchange their money. And what you can see in the top is actually underground markets where they were actually buying and selling in goods. So when people ask, why should I pay for ransomware? It's, of course, we always give the answer, please don't pay, because it's not you keeping this business model from the criminals alive. But a second thing is that actually you're not only supporting their money flow, but also you see they're using money to buy drugs. You see they're using money to buy weapons. So there's a whole criminal ecosystem you're supporting when you're actually paying into ransomware. And I think a lot of people don't realize that themselves. So I hope this link will work, fingers crossed, but this is a showcase on some nice device we built. It's an industrial control system and starts running here. You see on the left a beam engine, and we can control it by the right side with the controller using a Modbus protocol. So you can see we ramp it up, alarm goes off, and you see some smoke coming out of the machine. It is a fantastic demo, right? But the reason we use this is actually we were playing with industrial controlled malware. And what we could do actually is, you see over here, the engine speed goes into 85% and an alert goes off. But with the with the malware we were testing with, we could actually say like, okay, the SCADA interface here, the HMI, shows us still that everything is in green, and the temperature is all right, the speed is in green, nothing is wrong. But at the same time, you see on the device itself, you see the alert goes off, the smoke goes off, and it's a fantastic demo. But it's also stuff we 3D print, we code, we program this to make it really like an interactive demo. So one of the other things I would love to share with you as well is like, besides all these kind of things we're doing, we also have a GitHub page. If you look at github.com, Advanced Threat Research, there's a ton of stuff we're sharing actually over there. So when we release a blog post, we actually upload the MISP JSON campaign, the IOCs, but also if we have Yara rules, we all upload them for threat hunting purposes to this repository. And I think I can be really proud to say, I think we have the biggest collection, public collection, I would say, of ransomware rules we're sharing on our GitHub page. So people are using these rules to hunt in their companies, or they're hunting for samples for them, and to create detection for ransomware in their environments. And besides all the things we have on the website, there's a lot of publications we work on. So we have our annual threat predictions, where we do like a threat prediction report. We have sometimes our quarterly threat reports that's currently under revision. We're really thinking about like, is this still the concept we want to do? Is it containing the data we'd like to publish, or is it time for something new? So these things are being discussed at the moment, but that's definitely something you can expect soon from us as well. Yeah, we create reports and white papers, and if you look at the Mcafee Labs blog page, that's mostly where our blog posts are ending up after we have written them. And honestly, if I look back at the last 2 years, and I just made a couple of screenshots here from the research we're doing. In the middle was actually the Tesla case I was actually discussing. So you can see with a little sticker, the speed limit has been changed. 2 white dots, we say it's 35. And actually the camera on the Tesla is reading 85. You see on the left my manager, Rashomani, talking about with Europol as being a special advisor. You see me on a keynote for high-tech crime conference here in the Netherlands. The No More Ransom initiative. We have some of our people there on the Irish Cyber Island presentation. We do Black Hat, we do DEF CON. It's a great pleasure to represent this team and to do all the stuff we're doing. So with that being said, that was the introduction of my team, and I think it's over to OptiData.